Keith, then V.
We are now.
We've been live.
All righty.
Click the button 2 seconds ago. Thank you. Boom. Are we recording? You go
Boom.
now.
Welcome to a whole nother episode of TalkHvy. Once again, I'm your boy Screw Burgundy.
It's your boy Todd.
Just call me Rob.
It's Scotty.
It's me.
And we got a very, very special guest for y'all today. The one and only from BBE, the owner, the CEO,
Yes,
the
sir.
MD extraordinaire, Adam Blackstone in the building.
Good. What's up, family? What's up, family? Glad to be here. Glad to be here. Thanks for having me, Scoop.
As you already know, man. So we always kick it off. We always gotta ask our guests, man. How you feeling today, man?
Man, that's a great question. I think it's a question that some people answer haphazardly. Just they give an answer that they think is the right answer, or an answer that we're used to giving just off the top. But I genuinely am feeling very blessed today, man. Very blessed today. My family is healthy. You know, COVID has not affected us super directly. And for that, I'm thankful.
Thanks for giving a genuine answer to that. That's
right. Genuine.
So
how you
that's
doing,
what's up. Glad to hear all of those things.
So we're gonna get right into it. Adam, I wanted to ask you, how do you see the touring business looking in the foreseeable future? Do you think live shows and
I don't I don't see the touring business in the future. You know, and I say that with a heavy heart. There's so many things that go into touring that have nothing to do with music. The fact that you know, I can talk music business geek talk all day, but like the fact that, you know, the artists don't own the venues, meaning like if we were to go to Wells Fargo Center in Philly, right, we got to make sure there's no Sixers game. There's no Philadelphia Kicks game. There's no Flyers game. And with the spread of COVID and the delay of the seasons, nobody knows when some of these sports things are going to start. Therefore, we can't plan a tour around that until we know where the revenue is going to come in for the owners of the stadiums, which are the teams. They have first rights to that. So, you know, if I were to plan a tour for March, and then let's just say the NBA says, hey, we're going to start February. And my tour is getting pushed back. You're going to lose money by even trying to plan that tour. So I don't see, you know, that's one thing. The other thing is, I don't know about you guys, but like there have been some really good virtual concerts. Don't get me wrong. I miss people. I miss smiling faces and slapping hands with people and the fans, and you know, but I must say that as a businessman, if I had an artist that had the chance to make similar money by being at home and doing a self-tape or being on the BET Awards and don't have to go to LA and you still get the same exposure or more because we're all home, right. You know what I mean? I would really have to think about, does it make sense to do a tour in the traditional touring sense way? So I think that the venue specs, you know, venues, somebody get COVID during a concert, the venue is screwed. You know what I'm saying? They're going to have to shut down. And then now the basketball is affected, the hockey's affected, baseball, all of that stuff. And so it may not make sense for a venue to say, yeah, let's let 10,000, 12,000 people in to see a music show right now until we're very safe and know that this thing is under control. Unfortunately, with the spread of the disease, I don't see that happening in the foreseeable future. And when I say foreseeable, I'm saying a year, possibly two. Yeah, it's sad. Therefore, you know, all my people out there, young business people, entrepreneurs, please hone in on not just one skill, but let's learn how to do 10 things on this off time, because we got to make money other ways. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
So I got another question for you. For someone wanting to follow in the footsteps of Adam Blackstone, as far as being a musical director, where would you tell them to start?
Everybody's path is different, man. Just to be honest with you. I moved from New Jersey in 2000. Philly adopted me, and you know, I was the guy to basically be playing everywhere, whether that was a restaurant, bar mitzvah, musical theater, and then, you know, open mics were real big in Philadelphia at the time as well. And at that time, those were just, you know, what we used to call jam sessions. Fortunately enough, I met Richard Nichols, Sean G, and Amir Questlove Thompson at one of the jam session circuits. They always knew I was down for them and down for whatever artist I was playing for, whether that be a local artist or whoever. I continued at that moment to exhibit the professionalism as if I was playing for, you know, Jay-Z or something, but locally. So my path was more about the local grind and really trying to maintain, and I hate to use the word take over, but be a stable, a prominent figure in the local scene, so that when other people ahead of me got opportunities, they thought about me like, yo, that's the dude that was always here, or that's the bass player that's always chilling at the studio, or that's the, you know, that's the guy that I saw. Man, I saw him last night do a jazz gig. Now he's here at the Black Lily doing some hip hop, some neo soul. Oh man, now he's in the musical theater. He's doing, you know, the Wiz or whatever. You know what I mean? So I was all about just visibility. I didn't grow up in the social media age. I think that is an asset to youth. Because if I am looking for a specific gig or specific player or a specific look, I can just go to Instagram and type anything. I could type anything, you know what I'm saying? Black girl guitar player, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna come up, you know what I mean? It wasn't like that before. I could type, you know, white boy drummer, or I could type hip hop underground, anything, you know what I mean? So, you know, for us, our Instagram visibility was about actually getting out there and touching the people with our music and with our gift and with our craft. So what I would suggest is whatever that means for the up and coming musical director, reach the people, whether that's social media, whether that's you taking over your own town and city and just doing, you know, all those local gigs, but do it with excellence. Play for your local church as if you playing for the Potter's house. You feel what I'm saying? Play for your local R&B singer as if that is Rihanna. Play for your local rapper as if that is Jay-Z. And because you never know who's watching, I went to these local gigs, and like I said, because I was prepared and because I put my best foot forward at all times, when the opportunity came and the people who put me on did see me, it was a level of excellence that they couldn't deny.
I like that. So what do you think now, though, with the pandemic, how can the young artists do that same thing? Do they just utilize social media?
I think so. You know, I would have to admit and say that I am not that great at social media just because of the era that I grew up in. And, you know, I'm blessed. I'm not trying to sound no type of way, but I'm blessed to not need it to get a job. You know what I'm saying? I really put my dues in early, so that when people think of a product that they need, they hopefully will call me. But I would say, yes, social media, you know, utilize friends, man, keep in touch with people. You know, I'm doing something outside of my normal, just by even doing this podcast. I don't do this Scoop is family, but you know, this is something that I don't trust people, you know, with the personal side at times, you know what I'm saying? Or even with the knowledge. So I want to spread the knowledge, but I also want to do it with people that I trust. So I would also recommend that, you know, link with some family that are doing some things, you know, some people that you trust, and push boundaries for yourself.
Right. And you speaking on that trust, what is what do you mean? Like, has people done things to lose your trust? Like, what kind of things can you tell us about that type of dangers out here?
Yeah, I mean, I think we all battle with a product that is your baby and trusting somebody else with it. Let alone trusting somebody else with your heart. You know what I'm saying? So that's a whole different conversation.
Right.
But it all aligns in a way as to where I love my brand, I love my music, I love what I do, I love producing, I love my band. So trusting somebody with a platform, it takes a level, it takes trust for me to do that because I want them representing me in the best way possible. You know what I'm saying? And this is no disrespect to any other thing, but you know, like I may not go on the podcast that may promote some things that don't align with my brand. You know what I'm saying? And this is just me. I'm not saying it's the right thing or the wrong thing. I'm saying, you know, because I trust the platform that I'm given here and some other things that I've been doing with my companies and, you know, them entrusting me to promote Black Lives Matter and stuff like that, which they normally wouldn't do to keyboard companies or some of the guitar companies. You know, they trust me, therefore I trust them. So that's what I mean by trust. You know, when you're passionate about something, you put your whole heart and your energy into it. It's like a relationship, man. I have a relationship with my music and my brand, and I don't want anybody to break us up. You feel me?
I do. I understand completely. And so speaking of, because you know, you put a lot of emphasis in this conversation on your brand. Is there ever like any conflict between the artists that you work with and your brand? Specifically, you know, you're pushing Black Lives Matter, your own Black consciousness, especially during these times.
You know what? I have been very blessed, man. I work with a lot of non-African American artists, from Eminem to Justin Timberlake, you know, Tim McGraw. I just did something with Winona Judd. And I must say that, you know, they're just genuinely good people. And what I mean by that is, you know, and I'm being honest to say, you know, prior to this year, we may not have had a Black Lives Matter conversation directly, but because it affects them directly and it affects me directly, and we are aligned in kindred good spirits, they speak up on the platform knowing that they have friends that are Black and good. They know good people that are Blacks. Therefore, I call them my allies because they are speaking up and doing something about it. Thing I just did with Winona Judd, man, it was a John Lewis tribute. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's about a biggest stand as a white person could really take. You know what I mean? To say like this man impacted our culture and we have to continue to carry on his legacy. I've seen Justin Timberlake. I've spoken to him and I've seen him post about the importance of voting and how Black Lives Matter. You know what I'm saying? You know, I've seen Eminem, you know, he don't speak too much on politics, but he just did a song with Cudi, you know what I mean? And Dre talking about like the importance of like, you know, for Black, if it wasn't for Black culture, he wouldn't even be here. You know what I mean? So those are big statements by our allies. You know what I'm saying? So I'm blessed to say that my brand, my beliefs have not crossed, you know, lines to be, you know, like bump heads.
Right.
Yeah.
Understood.
I wanted to ask a question because they said in your documentary that you were like a musical prodigy. Like as soon as you came out the womb, you grabbed the guitar, drum, you can rap, you can sing, you can dance, break dance, you can do anything in the world. You gotta do it music.
I believe it. I believe it. I got to speak it to myself.
Right, man.
Yes,
So let's say in an alternate universe where it wasn't music, what is your other love? What is something else you would have did, like basketball or track?
Yeah, that's a great question. I played baseball. I really loved baseball. You know, I just love sports in general. I was a big dude, so it was like that back and forth running on the basketball court, full court. I'm like, Football, I was too fragile to get hit one hard time, so I stayed off of that. I remember my football coach said, "Yo, you gotta pick marching band or football. Which one you gonna do?" I think I'm gonna go with the band. And it worked out for me though, you know what I'm saying? But you know what, man? In my later years, I have really loved cinematography and the process of video and the video telling a story. I work with me and Scoops people, Brill.
Shout out to Brill.
Work with James Johnson in Philly. A lot, Evan Doheny, I have Evan, and then the head of my media team, Troy Knowles. They have really like given their all to this like movie making, behind the scenes, documentary style video, and I just find it very fascinating, man. Like I said, I didn't grow up in the social media age as an adolescent, so just the fact that I could see like Meek Mill get out of jail and then like see his process of, you know, prison reform and watch it for 60 seconds, which if you tell somebody 60 seconds, that is not a long time, but we've been getting a full story on Instagram for 1 minute.
Right.
And that's the art. It reminds me of a song, because that's the art of storytelling. The way I have to construct a verse to a bridge to a chorus. I gotta catch y'all that first minute of the song, or you're gonna turn it off. And I feel like cinematography and video documentary has done that. I just brought up Meek just because, you know, he's Philly and he's been through some things, and we can actually see the evolution of his artistry and him as a man. But many, many, many other things. You know, just watching you know, just people grow up, you know what I mean? Like there's some blogs that, you know, you see a baby at 2, then you see them at 3, then you see them at 4. It's like, it's just crazy, man, to tell that story. So I actually think if I wasn't doing music, man, I would be somewhere behind the lens, behind the camera, doing some video stuff.
Okay. And you speak of social media, and I happen to go on your Instagram and see something very interesting in your bio. Now, you don't know me, but I might say I'm a barb, maybe or something like that, but the male version of the barb. And like I've seen
of,
Queen
of what?
Nicki Minaj. I seen Nicki Minaj.
Oh, you a barb?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I get it.
You see,
I'm
see how he
I'm
whispered it. He was mumbling. So he didn't want to say it.
But it's
all good. It's all good. My man Nas was a barb, heavy.
Yeah, see?
Nas.
Yeah, Lil Nas X.
Oh, Lil Nas X.
Straight up. That's how he got on, man. He used to come to all the concerts. He rapped for G. Roberson, and it was rap. Like he cold, like in his lane.
I thought
shout out Nas X. He's like, yo, I'm gonna be a country rapper. It's like, you know, Nelly did it. You know what I'm saying? Like, why can't the young boy do it?
Nelly did.
I'm saying all that to say he started out as a barb. No, it's nothing wrong with that, John.
We're gonna be big. Scotty,
you a king. No,
I thought he said Nas, like New York State of Times, not Illmatic Nas.
Lil Nas X. Shout out Lil Nas X.
Nas was a barb too. You know, he was talking to Nicki for a minute. That's besides
now listen, we ain't gonna go there.
How was it working?
They had that Queen things popping.
How was it working with Nicki?
Man, Nicki is so dope, man. Shout out my girl Nicki Minaj, Sagittarius life.
Hey, Sagittarius, me too, man. Oh.
Yeah, I see you too. So the main thing I can say about working with Nicki is she knows what she wants. You know what I'm saying? Reminds me a lot of another artist that I worked with early, Kanye West. They're able to maybe not in musical terms articulate what they want, but she knows what she wants. Therefore, if I play a chord, she's like, nah, that's too pretty, that's too this. Nah, that's too dark, that's too this. Why don't you do something? And it's like that. Working with Nicki helped me expand my hip hop vocabulary emotionally. You know what I'm saying? She was a woman. She was rapping like a straight dude, but then she was singing, you know, starships and stuff like that. And I was really like, yo, like, she can do anything. Why can't anybody else do that? You know what I'm saying? She was bringing in producers and songwriters that ranged everything from writing for Rihanna to like making tracks for Lil Wayne. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, you know, just seeing her process, man, she's really a genius. And she got bars. She got singing bars. She got rap bars. She got metaphors. You feel what I'm saying? I would have to say that she's influenced a whole generation of not just female rappers, but like rappers in general. I've heard, you know, Drake flow like Nicki before. You know what I'm saying? And it's still him. Don't get me wrong, but I'm saying like if they on a record together, you know what I'm saying? Like you could tell like they influence each other. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
People have had to step up their bars. I've heard stories of people pulling their own verses after they hear Nicki bars. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I gotta do this again. So Nicki can spit, man. Like, you know, she's one of the ones where it's like you almost have to take her out of the female category when you talk about MCs. You know what I'm saying? That's my personal opinion. That's just straight me. She's one of the ones for me. I have a lot of great artists that I've worked with before, but like if Eminem hops on your track, I mean, you know, if Jay-Z hop on a track with you,
so
you it. Like, you know, it ain't nothing you could say. You know, we could try to compare females and stuff like that, but ain't too many got them two on their albums. That's real talk.
Sure.
We're not talking just popularity. We talking like bar for bar. She spit with Hov. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Bar for bar, she spit with M. You know what I mean? So.
Oh, that's you talking real heavy right now. You said bar for bar with M.
No, I'm saying they have songs together.
Oh, okay.
Right.
All right.
Eminem don't just get on people's songs, yo.
No,
right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Her and Jay-Z have a song or two together. Her and Drake have songs together. Like Wayne, they got songs together. They would, you know, those four guys I just put in my, I'm saying it right here, they might be in my top 5. I just put them 4 dudes in my top 5, and we're talking about Nicki, and I'm saying they all have songs with her.
Mm.
You feel what I'm saying? So it's like we cannot discredit her influence just in pop culture and hip hop culture. And I know what she's done for me. She's made me a better communicator. She's made me a better musical director. She's made me a better thinker. She's made me a better, you know, educator when I'm talking to, you know, young MCs and stuff like that, because I can reference some of the things that she's done. So she's cool. She ice cold with it. I appreciate her.
And before we move on to our next question, you person, I want to say thank you because you just won me about 5 arguments between everyone here when we have our arguments about Nicki. Now, y'all heard what he said. Nobody said anything else. Let's keep it at that, all right?
I mean, what's the argument? What's the argument?
He think Nicki the best ever. That's what he thinks.
She the greatest of all time.
Like he's crazy though. Come on, yeah.
I mean, that's it. Let him have his opinion though. You feel what I'm saying? Like, let him have who you. I'm gonna tell you if you got validity. Who's your second of all time, Keith?
My second greatest female rapper. Damn.
No. I ain't say you saying she's the greatest female rapper.
Yeah, female rapper all time. Wayne, my favorite rapper all time.
Well, then so listen. That's why he like Nicki, y'all. Come on now.
Who your top 5? Who your top 5, Adam?
Jay. I gotta put Drake in there because he just don't miss.
He don't.
That is true.
Black Thought. I gotta put Wayne in there because he don't miss. What's that?
That's 4.
That's 4.
No, that's 3.
That's 3. He said Drake, Black Thought, Wayne,
and Jay, and Wayne.
Jay.
Oh, I did say 4. Eminem.
Ooh.
Okay.
Messing with your, this your check right here, Adam.
Solid 5 though.
You know, I'm gonna say Eminem. I don't have an order. Also, I think Jay-Z is my favorite. Now we talking about favorite or the best rapper. I don't. I am not the guy to say the best rapper. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna even say pull my hip hop card like I'm that dude. I'm saying what these 5 rappers' songs do for me personally is great. Now I still have like I can't do 5. I would have to do 10 because Ross gets me hype. Ross gets me hype. Kanye West gets me hype.
Yeah.
When flashing lights come on, I think I'm going crazy. Like Stronger comes on, I want the lights to just be like in my life, like you know what I'm saying. Yeah. And then you know, I in no particular order, but I love Tribe Called Quest. I grew up on them. You know, I love Nas. I grew up on early Nas. You know, I love Nicki. I said that. You know what I mean. Everybody knows that. You know, Jill Scott got bars. Don't ever get that twisted.
You said Jill Scott.
Yeah, she got bars, man.
It sound like you trying to get a pay raise. That's what it sounds like. I'm saying, like you talking about Jill Scott and the MC.
She can rap.
Bro.
You ain't never heard that song with Jeezy?
Like now, I'm saying what these artists have done to affect my knowledge of hip hop. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't claim to be the super duper hip hop head. I'm like the R&B guy. If you ask me who the top 5 boy groups, I'm gonna tell you. But like you know, I'm a church R&B head. But like I would say those 10 rappers for me, man, have like really impacted me. You know, Meek gets me hype, you know, in a different way. Like I said, when I say get me hype, I'm just like, like you know what I'm saying. Sometimes artists that get you hype, singers could do it too. Church people do it too. It's like you not even really necessary. And this sound dumb coming from a musician, but sometimes it's not about the lyric when it makes you feel a certain way. You feel what I'm saying? Like you know, just to switch gears. There's certain gospel songs that got like 2 words, like "Yes, Lord." Is like, is that the best gospel song ever written? No, but it fills me up. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like
it fills me up.
Yeah,
it's the truth. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like
that's like the Kanye album he did with the choir.
It's got. I mean, no.
You listen to that? You ain't feeling that. You wasn't feeling that. He was like, nah.
I love that, but it's a different feeling. That's a different feeling for me. I'm saying like when Dreams and Nightmares come on, it's like, you know, are the bars super duper crazy, or do the feeling that you get when he say, "Hold up, wait a minute, y'all thought I was finished," like you be like, "Oh my God!" Like I want to run through a wall right now. So it's different when you're saying, like, you know, when you think about Hov talking about "Don't get mad at me, I don't love him off," like that's them is like, whew, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know, those 10 for me get me hype on the hip hop side. Like I said, I ain't pulling my hip hop card like I'm the aficionado, but for me, those 10 artists right there, hip hop wise, give me hype.
Well, real quick before you jump in, V. Real quick, you said did you ever go to any of those Sunday services, the Kanye West Sunday service?
I went to.
How was it? Like, what was the vibe like out there?
So, the singing was phenomenal. Like, just off the gate, like the singing, the musicianship was incredible. God, the anointing was out there. I really would say that. One of the other things when you grow up in church is that, and Scoop, you can attest to this, when you go to the actual building, how can I put this right so Bishop Robinson don't smack me in the face? When you go to the church building, you take it for granted a little bit if you grew up in church.
Right.
So when I went, my first Kanye Sunday service experience was at a studio, like at a recording studio at Center Stage in Philly. And I was like, yo, I can't believe there are 60 people in here singing hymns. Like I never thought that would happen here.
Right.
as it grew, I was at the Super Bowl. We did the Super Bowl this year. Shout out J-Lo and Shakira. That Sunday of the Super Bowl, I went to see Kanye that morning in Miami at an arena. And I just looked around and the same thing, man. I could not believe that they were singing like, "Oh Lord, how excellent," in front of, I'm gonna say 3/4 of non-black church people. You feel what I'm saying? They were visitors, they were tourists, they were Super Bowl ticket buyers. It was not like we going to church. That's an overwhelming feeling to know that, you know, God is being praised in an environment where you had to genuinely usher him in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no walk in and you hear the organ and people tarrying and somebody's, you know, laying hands on you. It's like he set the atmosphere. So I got nothing but love and respect for what he did with that Sunday service thing. And I really feel like people learned about the goodness of Jesus in a time and a space that they would not have. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't nothing but respect for me for that. You know what I mean? Like straight up. It was a great atmosphere.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I went with some hard dudes and a couple chicks that don't just go to church. You know what I'm saying? And so like it's interesting. You know what I mean? Like it's interesting to see them filled with the Spirit and then just, you know, gravitate to what he's doing.
Is it on par with DMX's prayers?
So I was a part of an early DMX prayer on the Bad Boy tour. That was one of the ones that was like first publicized, like caught on camera. And that got me hyped more than they ushered me into a spirit. That got me like, oh yeah, God, yeah, God, yeah. Kanye kind of was like more of a worship thing, but the DMX prayer, it got me like, yo, I could do anything, like straight up. So it's a different feeling, but the same sincerity. You know what I'm saying?
So DMX give you the dreams and nightmares vibe, but for God.
That was good. But I don't want to compare them because that DMX Rough Rider spirit is a whole nother height. They make you want to go buy a motorcycle with a cross.
Hey, yeah.
Shout out BET, man. They got that Rough Rider documentary starting next week, man. Shout out Swiss.
Oh, I gotta check it out. So my question is related to traveling. I love traveling. I'm like a big travel person. And
where you from, V?
Where am I from? Well, I live in Philly.
Okay.
But I saw that you were on Rihanna's 777 tour where you guys did 7 countries in 7 days. That's insane.
The dumbest ish ever.
That is insane. So my
epic though. Epic. I'm saying dumb, but like epic. Like who does that? You know what I'm saying?
Right. So my question is, what was your favorite country? Not necessarily for that tour, but in general, like what was your favorite country that you visited?
For the 7s or in
No, I'm saying in general, like just touring in general, what was your favorite?
Yeah, I have 2 favorites, man. I was actually with my brother, Darryl Robinson. 2005, man, we went to Johannesburg, South Africa. Changed my life. We were able to go to Soweto, see some apartheid things. I didn't know Black people still lived like that, meaning like outside. I don't want to say poor, but just the environment. You know what I'm saying? Like outside, cook their own, like go get a chicken.
Very segregated still in South Africa.
Very segregated. But just the living conditions, like, you know, people having houses with just like 2 rooms and like, you know, 4, like a 10 walls, TIN walls, you know what I'm saying? Them to kill chickens and put it on a fire outside and like watching them cook the meat and stuff like that. Like that changed my life. But also when we were able to do the concert there, I saw how beautiful the people were and the spirit that they embodied for living in Africa. You know what I'm saying? I've been in some other places in Africa too, Ghana, Nigeria, but for whatever reason, South Africa even though it is segregated V, like you said, it still has a level of excellence that, you know what I'm saying, almost certain parts almost remind you of like the Vegas of the United States, you know what I'm saying? So that's one of my top 2 favorite places. And then I went to Wellington, New Zealand with Janet Jackson around 2009 or 2010. And it's the clearest water and whitest sand I've ever seen in my life, still to this day. And it's a very big retirement type of spot, you know what I'm saying, for older people, because it's just beach everywhere, you know what I mean? So Wellington, New Zealand, and Johannesburg are my 2 favorite spots. I want to take my mom to Africa. I think everybody.
So out of the countries you've been to in Africa, since you've been to multiple, who has the best jollof?
The best what?
Jollof. It's a dish that like a lot of countries in Africa make. It's like a rice dish.
Okay.
Like Ghana, they're infamous for theirs. Nigeria, all of those places.
I don't remember. I'm being honest with you. I've been to Nigeria. You know what I'm saying? I've been to Ghana. I've been to Joburg and 3 other countries as well. But I don't remember who has the best.
Well, how about food overall?
Food overall? In the world or in Africa?
In the world. In the world. Let's do the world.
I mean, Africa has some really good food. For whatever reason, this sounds so black, but when I had real Japanese food in Japan, it's like it makes the corner store Chinese, Japanese, you know what I'm saying? Like, that ain't it. You know what I mean? Having real Japanese in Japan and having real Chinese in China. I had the privilege of doing that. You know what I'm saying? That's like having pizza in Italy. It's like a different thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I would have to say like the Chinese food in China was like incredible, fresh,
top notch.
Yeah, super top notch. You know, they actually are picking the rice and picking, you know, like fishing the shrimp and stuff like that. Like, it's real, you know, real nice.
Right. My next question is back to kind of like your music and the variety of artists that you've worked with. And you speak a lot about how like the music moves you. And so I'm curious to know, like, which projects have you worked on or artists have you worked with that, I don't want to say impressed you, but their music just moved you in a way that you hadn't been moved before?
That's a very good question. Unfortunately, I have a very short-term memory. When it comes to the longevity of my career, I should say, and I'm saying that with all due respect. Meaning, like, I do remember in 03, 04 listening to College Dropout for the first time, like at a studio, and I was like, this guy is special. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, you was in the studio with Kanye?
Yeah, so my first big gig was Jay-Z Fade to Black at Madison Square Garden in 2003.
Wow.
Questlove was the musical director. I just played bass. And so I met this kid with this pink polo. He's like, yo, come rock with me. Like, you know what I'm saying? After this, I'm like, what you doing? He like, I'm a producer, but I rap. And I'm like, okay. And then I remember him playing me, College Dropout. And so, yeah, it was like a lot of music and a lot of times like that where I remember listening to Anti from Rihanna, even though she was already Rihanna. Are you asking about new artists specifically, or like just what music has moved me? Were you
Well, I was
asking about?
just
You were
saying,
kind of
like,
asking about new artists, right?
I wasn't saying necessarily new artists. I guess I was just saying like, because I know you worked with so many, but I'm
You
sure
mean like stuff that people may not know?
You said what?
Music that, you know, some people may not know, possibly.
Well, no, just the artists that or the music that like stood out to you the most out of your
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I would say like, you know, early Kanye. I remember hearing early Mary music in a rehearsal, like, yo, this about to come out. We about to put out this song called Yesterday. And I was like, yo,
that's my joint.
Yeah.
This is crazy. Like, ooh, like we gonna play this? You know, I heard a lot of Kanye, man, because we was on tour, so he was making like 808s and Heartbreaks, and like I remember hearing Love Block, and I was like, I don't know about this song. This ain't it. And I was wrong. I remember going to the studio with this white boy and listening to this song called Rockstar. Post Malone. I was like, this ain't it. I was wrong. You know what I'm saying? This is kind of, we flipping the question though. I guess what I'm saying is I am totally not always right about my music choices. I remember meeting Kendrick and I forget what song he played. Whatever it was like really cool. And then he played I got loyalty and look, right.
Oh, okay.
And I was like,
DNA.
oh, this is crazy, right? And I remember hearing that because he did Coachella with us when I played for Dr. Dre and Snoop. So that song had an impact on me. That's another one where it was like I didn't really follow up with K Dot. He asked me for some beats. I was busy. I was wrong again. You know what I'm saying? Like I've missed. I've struck out. Like, you know what I mean? Like I guess that's a big, you know, lesson to young people is like, yo, like everything you do or you think or you say or you don't do, in my case, is not always the right thing. You know what I'm saying? I've struck out numerous times. You know what I mean? Whether that be not following up because I am busy. Don't get me wrong. But I ain't never played nobody. That's not my character. I'm just saying like I may not have gotten around to doing something when they ask me for beats or, you know, Kanye used to say, yo, come to the studio, and I just got married, you know what I mean? So it's been times where.
But if you knew back then what you know now, you would have been at that studio.
Possibly. Now here's the thing for me. I do believe everything that God has for me is in my time, and it is for me and the other producers that are on those records who have blown up. My musical director skills may not be what they are now if I would have been living in the studio. You know, so it's always a catch-22. It's like, yes, I do want to be a producer. I still consider myself an up-and-coming producer because I don't have like super duper, you know, track record of credits. I have great production credits, but not like, you know, you look at somebody like a Drake record, or you look at somebody like, you know, Timbaland or Rodney Jerkins or Swiss or, you know, Max Martin, you know, like they like Taylor Swift, like, yo, I need 10 songs. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not that yet, and I want to get there one day. And if I knew what I knew now, maybe different, but also I'm very thankful for my path. So that's a lot of the music that has moved me, and I just did. What's up, bro? Come here, man. Come here. All right. I just did. Let me see it now. Let me see it. Say hello. What's up? Look at Scoop. Say what's up, Scoop.
What up?
Adam Jr. Album coming out soon. All right.
Hey, congratulations, man. You got another one on the way?
Yeah, man. And my son got a medal for soccer today.
Yeah, yo.
Hey.
I love it.
All right, so before I pass it back to Scoop, I just want to ask one last real quick question. You spoke about cinematography earlier, and that's like near and dear to me because right now I'm getting my master's in television and media management, and I've done a lot on like films and cinematography and things. Okay. So, fun question is, if you had you said you would be behind the lens. So, what type of like what type of cinematography or type of like projects would you be putting out?
Man, I like docu style, but I like it to look like it's I don't know, like it I just wanted to look like a Scorsese, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I
Like
love
you shooting Goodfellas.
Yeah, or like, you know, The Departed or something like that. Like, you know, it just gotta feel Hype Williams, man. It's just Hype Williams. What if you go back? I don't know how old y'all are. Y'all all younger than me, but like if you watch like I Can't Stand the Rain, Missy's video, and you watch like Neo So Sick, like he was doing these crane shots. Like, I don't know if y'all remember, it was a time where every Hype Williams video started with like a mountain. and it had the letter boxes. Like we ain't never, now you could do that easy on Instagram. You could do the sideways joint. Everybody say, yo, take your video sideways. When Hype Williams was doing that, It was like, yo, how he get it to look like, you know what I'm saying? So it's the innovation of it and just being on top of it and being in the forefront of technology that intrigues me, being behind the lens. You know what I'm saying? I love slow-mo. I love black and white. I love accent shots. You know what I'm saying? I love B-roll. B-roll tells the story so good to me. I've been studying a lot about that. I'm talking about Philadelphia, like seeing a scene of something happening in Philly while you hear the narration. It's like stuff like that. Like, it really is.
B-roll can literally make or break a project.
It really can. And then I just think clarity, man. Some people are really content with the phone quality. That's just not me. You know what I'm saying? I was just speaking about the John Lewis thing, and I saw a spec that we shot a video in 8K, and that I was like, I could see it. I'm like, what the heck is this? It was Jennifer Hudson segment and actually a Billy Porter segment. They shot in 8K and it was just phenomenal. You look like you could touch their voice like when they were singing. It was so wow. You know what I mean? And for a music video, we're not talking about a movie. We're not talking about Jurassic Park or nothing like that. We're talking about like a 4-minute song, a 3-minute song. That's a big deal. You know what I mean? Like to really, because it embodies the message, you know, you could feel it. So I think I would make like docu style, but with a movie like Scorsese like quality.
So listen, I gotta ask you one more thing. Well, a few things, but we about to get up out of here. Now you work with so much. Listening to you, you work with so much hip hop royalty, and just so many legendary artists. I gotta ask you about my favorite because my cousin threw in his favorite. I gotta ask you about my favorite. How was it working for Jay-Z? Like, what was that whole experience like?
Jay-Z is the GOAT to me. It's every time I've been working with him since 2003, and he still amazes me every time I'm in the room, man. It's like I'm a fan. I don't fan out, but I'm a fan of the artistic merit that he brings to a song, to the room. I was able to like I said, music direct the Super Bowl this year, and this was the first year Rock Nation was the producer of the NFL, you know, music segment, and they partnered with the NFL. Jay had a lot of ideas, and they all came off. And you know, working with Jay, man, he pushes the bar. He's another one that kind of like, yo, I know I know he knows what he wants. And for me, that's so great because it's just my job to bring their vision to musical fruition. You know what I mean? He has done everything for me from we opened the Barclays Center. We were the first act anything in there. You know what I'm saying? There's footage of me taking the first shot on the Nets court. I don't know if you ever saw that on the Brooklyn documentary.
Yeah.
He's been responsible for me, you know, meeting my high school poster girl, Beyonce. You know what I'm saying? He's been responsible for me, you know, meeting Ye and put me in a position to be a better musical director with up and coming artists that have turned into super duper stars. And that's a big part of my lineage and my history as a musical director that I've been able to, you know, grow with people. So I'm thankful for him, his musical genius in my life. Every time I see him, you know, whether it be Rock Nation brunch or, you know, we at the gig or whatever, it's always all love. We family, you know, Rock is family, and I'm thankful for them.
Did you support his move with the Rock Nation to go and partner with the NFL? Do you support it?
I do.
It was a whole lot of criticism because
yeah, I mean, we have to move forward, and I'm not saying move forward from Colin or the movement of Black Lives Matter. What I'm saying is like we have to progress. Is what I should have said. So I think that shows a level of number one maturity and a level of progression that the NFL. Let's not talk about Rock Nation for a second. That the NFL would even consider partnering with this old Marcy Projects hustler, but they value his word, his vision, and his artistry enough to bring some sort of artistic merit to what they're trying to do, and it showed improve. For me, this Super Bowl, we had the #1 viewership ever. It was the first minority all Latin Super Bowl. It was the first women double headlining Super Bowl. He is a major part of that. You know what I'm saying? And I think that cemented his legacy, it did cement his legacy because he's a legend already, but I think it cemented his value to those big corporations. Now, guess what?
Right.
And I'm not trying to say this is going to happen, but if he says, yo, we want Snoop and Dre halftime, I don't think people are going to be like, oh, we want Eminem, or we want Jay-Z and Kanye, or we want Rihanna. Like, I don't think now the NFL is even going to question that musical move because he's established that he's successful in making it what it is already without having to insert himself as the artist. And that's a real boss. When you make something big already and you don't have to be a part of it, you know what I'm saying? Like, you like, oh man, like.
Do you think putting the idea of progression into one individual's hand, or even an individual company like Rock Nation, who's run by Jay-Z, obviously, so you believe that pushing the movement forward, or is that pushing them forward?
Pushing who forward?
Rock Nation, Jay-Z. Speaking about Jay-Z, really. So
yeah, so it's a collaborative. #1 is pushing the NFL forward. That's a bigger company than Rock Nation. They are multi-billion dollar company. J-Lo and Shakira Super Bowl brought the NFL eyes and money outside of Rock Nation. Rock Nation just happened to be the producer and the curator of the music in that segment. But we're talking about progression from a business standpoint. You feel what I'm saying? And then you also said it as well. Jay-Z does run Rock Nation. However, it's not putting it in his hands. You know why? Rock Nation is a company. And what else I've learned from Jay-Z is that he is a huge designator. He taught me how to do that. One of the people to teach me how to have a CFO, to have a head of internet, to have a head of media, to have these subsidiary companies, Tidal, EQ, Planes, all this underneath the umbrella of what it is, because you know what? They all run themselves now without Jay. So he's not shouldering he's not having the brunt to have to push us forward because it's a company-wide social economic push that the entire company has to do, and they did.
So that's dope. That's dope, man. That's heavy. So we got to get into. We talked about everybody else. We got to get into Adam, man. You just said that y'all working on the Origin album. So tell the people out there who don't know about the Origin, who is the Origin and how did the Origin come about?
The Origin Band, man. These are a band of my brothers. We are called the Origin Band because as much as we've all have traveled the world, myself, Daryl Robinson, Johnny Smurf Smith, Dwayne Moore, Ray Holloman, and Aaron Draper, we have always maintained that the origin of our success falls with Jesus Christ. And so we are doing a gospel album as a band together. We've played from everybody from Pharrell to Beck to Neo to Maroon 5 to John Mayer, to Common, to J. Cole, amongst a host of others. But as a group of us together, our band, we are glorifying God. We're looking forward to impacting, the airways and the streams with our music. This was a long time in the making. We've been working, man, we got history. We've worked together probably for the last 17, 18 years on other people's stuff, kind of making other artists hot. I ain't afraid to say that. And now we want to invest in ourselves and do something that we love to do. You know what I mean? That doesn't stop what we're doing for everybody else. It also doesn't stop, our job, which is to as a musician and a producer. But also when we invest in ourselves as artists, we're taking that control to say, this is what we want to do in this time and space. And so I'm excited, man, that we are working on this Origin album. It's coming out soon, probably top of the year. And everybody should look forward to some great feel-good, uplifting music.
Listen, man, make sure y'all go get that. And we almost left without mentioning it, the Emmy nomination.
Yes, sir.
So congratulations on that. That's
Thank you, man.
That's your third one?
This is my second Emmy nomination.
Second, okay.
Yeah, and man, I'm excited. This is something I just told my wife. This is something that don't happen every day. I can't even front and say, this is a regular thing. I'm so blessed. I'm thankful. Emmy nominated will always be attached to my name now, whether I go for another job or to try to uplift at another position at a company or anything. Like, they can't take that away from me. I'm very excited to be recognized for the hard work that went into that Super Bowl halftime show. I believe people enjoyed it. I believe the ladies, shout out J-Lo, shout out Shakira, they really represented their cultures well. And I'm thankful that they trusted me to do the music for both of them to, give it to the people.
That's real.
So shout out, look out for that, man. September 15th are the Emmys, the creative Emmys. Everybody that does have a vote and a say, I appreciate y'all. And let's make it happen. A win for me is a win for everybody, straight up.
Now we speaking it into fruition. Listen, next time we have you on the show, it's going to be Emmy Award winning.
There it
is. So yeah, man, we definitely appreciate you for coming through to the show.
Everybody, G.
Yes, you already know, man. Everybody check out the Origin Band, Adam Blackstone. He has a lot of things coming through. And, man, just appreciate you once more, man. Love you, brother.
Love, y'all. I'm proud of y'all, man. Keep doing y'all thing.
Thanks, bro.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for coming through.
No doubt.
So, gang, now that we're done with the interview, it's time to get spicy. No. But yeah, all my TalkHvy people that's still here, we about to give y'all a commercial and go into our next segment. This is TalkHvy, brought to you by TalkHvy. That's TalkHvy. You can find all things on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at TalkHvy. We got V in the building from the one and only Sip and Spill. Y'all can check out her shows, Two Cent Tuesdays on Tuesday on Instagram Follow Sip and Spill, see what's going on. Ladies, if you're feeling a little hit, holla at Just Brit. And now we have What's Out Wrong. Keith is going to give us a story and ask us, was he wrong? Even though we know he's wrong.
He was wrong. I don't even need to
I know he was wrong.
All right. I know most of the time I do a whole bunch of shenanigans. Was I wrong? I try to flip it back to the start. This is the real straightforward beef that me and a certain co-host might have. I ain't gonna say his name, Mr. Burgundy, but I think we disagree on if I was wrong with this situation. So a few years ago, everybody knows I was with my baby mom. I was like real locked down. Everybody, Keith, you wanna go to Landmark? Woo, no, I can't. So, I'm on FaceTime my baby mom. I get a call from my dad. Hey, son, Amy Schumer is having a big show. This is back when Amy Schumer was like the Kevin Hart of white people. And she was just popping. She had nothing but bangers backstage. Rihanna, Madonna, Beyonce, Blue Ivy might have been back there. The whole world was back there. I don't know. So I'm like, he's like, yeah, call Scoop and let him know. All right, Dad, I will. So my son, mom on FaceTime, I can see her getting an attitude. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna call you back. I gotta call my cousin. So before, I gotta go to the bathroom and stuff. I came back, I get a video to my phone saying like it's showing my son, and it's like, Dad. Did he say Dad? She know how to get me. She knew that I love me some Khalil. She said, I'm gonna get this motherfucker. He like, yeah, he said Dad, and he wanna see you tomorrow. He can't talk. He can't say he wants to see me tomorrow. But I'm dumb. I'm a new dad. I just want to be with my son. So I'm like, oh, hey Dad, I can't make it. The baby needs some diapers, so I'm going to stay home. Never told Scoop. Watching like 2 days later. So in the car while we driving, Scoop talking, yeah, man, I love TalkHvy. We doing everything right. We doing good. We got interviews. How we doing? Yeah, cuz we're doing whatever we can do to get popping. You know how popping it would have been if we had an interview with Rihanna, but that's possible. I'm praying my dad don't say nothing about this. And he didn't. He didn't see nothing until after boxing. We driving home. He's like, oh yeah, Scoop, did my dumb son tell you that he wanted to be with his baby rather than be with Rihanna and Madonna and stuff backstage? And I feel as though I was right to be a dad. But I'm a new dad. I wanted to be with my son. I wanted to be a good dad. Was I wrong for depriving Scoop, selfish Scoop, of being backstage and us getting beautiful interviews and probably being rich by now? Am I wrong?
Absolutely.
You're absolutely wrong. Who wants to be a parent?
Is that even a question?
Who wants to be a parent?
I was a good dad. You heard
what are you talking about?
You heard the dad. All right, what messed me up is my son didn't say that when I got there. I think it was somebody in the background saying it. But that's besides the point.
You did not go. Let's just call it what it is. You did not go because your baby said Dad. You was whooped by the cootie cat. That's what it was.
She was looking at Gooch. That's what it was.
And don't try to blame the son. Try to bring a little cute little baby. No.
Another one.
You're
the innocent young man.
We don't do any Gooch talk on this podcast.
I think everyone is in agreement that you were wrong. Group has every right to be mad at you.
I will still be
mad. I'm still mad.
All right, well, somebody else. All right, somebody in the comments, Marquis said that's like the time that I told him last minute that I was gonna go see Brian. And he was mad at me because he had to work. He's like, why you been telling me, bro? I'm like, Brian, it was last minute second. I just feel as though I get these opportunities a lot. Now, it ain't my fault that everybody don't get the same opportunity as me.
It is your fault.
No, it's definitely on you.
Did that exact opportunity come floating back around yet?
So
not even
with those particular people. Exactly.
You was wrong, but Adam did say, he said, you do things that you shouldn't do, and you don't do things that you should have did, and you just learn from them. You know what I'm saying?
Bring it back to the interview.
Just learn from them, Keith. Shout out Adam. You see where Adam Blackstone is? He just got an Emmy nomination. Right. So you good, bro. You good.
Listen. If I had went
Don't
there,
listen to a man who got a death row shirt on.
What they
Like,
gonna do
what?
anything?
This is who you listening to?
That bro, yeah, Snoop. Party. Yes.
listen.
That's all I gotta name.
Shake.
That's
We're
all
in
I gotta
bad
name.
shape over
Snoop
here.
and Pop. That's it.
We're
I
in
ain't gotta
bad
say
shape.
nobody else.
Think about all the how it would be right now if me and Scoop had went there. We'd probably been rich and famous. We would have never had to use you guys for anything. It'd have been like,
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna be real, Keith. Now that you say it like that, y'all still have been broke. It don't matter. Don't matter.
I agree, Todd.
I don't know what you. I want you to know how much Scoop wanted to kill me. Like,
I've never been as mad at Keith in my life, and I still randomly get mad at Keith about this. Like in my sleep, sometimes I wake up like this motherfucker.
I wanted to be a dad, yo. I'm sorry, man. I was being a dad. All right.
A dad. Oh goodness.
Who wants to be a dad?
You a dad every day.
Thank you,
dad. This is fresh baby. This is fresh baby juice I'm getting.
Let's just be real, Keith. I don't think your son likes you. I just don't even think he likes you.
That's where I feel like I'm wrong because now he don't like me. So I'm like, well,
that's what I'm saying. So it's just like you made a sacrifice for a kid who doesn't even like you. Come on now.
I do regret it now. I thought he was loving me.
So then how you asking us
you, Dad?
wrong if you regret it? So
You know what, Keith?
Like we go back at the
time opportunity come around and your son is in thought, get him out your head.
Oh, listen. I'm running. I might not even tell you. I might just go.
He said he don't even like you though. God damn.
He ain't wrong. He ain't tell a lie yet.
I don't even know what's next now because I'm mad all over
again. mad all over again.
No, but next.
But if I must say, is it court?
No.
Scoop's messing up.
Scoop.
No.
Right
now we got a segment. Scott ready in hot court coming down the turnpike for y'all. But right now, Scotty's gonna give us his state of the address, and then we got court coming. What you got for us, Scott?
Yes, sir. So I had prepared a whole thing. Was doing videos and all that, and I was like, nah. I just seen yesterday that 800 cases of coronavirus in the Georgia school district. 800 cases of the kids, the high school kids in the Georgia
kids.
Yes. Yo, and I was just thinking like, yo, all the misinformation that's put out there by the government when you got or social media is really causing people death. Like it's dangerous. Like information, especially misinformation, is dangerous. And people don't, and we share it so willingly, this misinformation without verifying where this information is coming from. It's irresponsible. Like we all, me included, because I didn't share the meme or two. You know what I'm saying? I didn't share the meme or two that wasn't accurate. But I seen something the other day. Y'all know them thermometers that they do the lasers with, and they measure your temperature when you go in the store. They said that affects the pineal gland in your brain.
What?
Basically, the gland that controls your sleep patterns.
You said what?
They try to say basically that this thermometer is affecting people's sleep, so they shouldn't get their temperature checked when they go into the store. You know what I'm saying? So that type of misinformation is causing people to die. In Florida, they got labs that's got 100% test positive rates.
Wow.
Which is false. It's false information. Everybody don't got the fucking coronavirus. That's false information. You feel me? So when you got the government, you got social media, you have all the powers that be are telling you all this information, where do we fall back on? When your president getting his information from Facebook memes or alt-right Facebook groups, where are we going? Where are we going? Real rap, where are we going? This is a real crisis, yo. And they opened up the schools again, and the schools are getting closed down a week later. Like, it's getting crazy, yo. I seen the thing where they had 30 daycare kids with coronavirus, the same daycare.
Wow.
30. This shit ain't a game, yo. So we really got to be careful and really be safe out here. I know we cooped up in the crib, and I know it's hard. I get it, especially for us Black people. We like to be out and about. I get it, but we got to be safe, yo, for real. Wear a mask, social distance. Still, that shit ain't over. Just because the government says it is, don't mean it is. And that's it. And that's on that.
And that's that. And that's on that.
My grandfather, Scotty said about the kids in daycares.
Yeah.
I understand, parents. Kids are annoying. I got a 4-year-old. Stop sending your babies to daycare because you want some time to yourself. That is dangerous.
Ain't no such thing as time to yourself when you got kids.
Yo, I'm like, me and my son was talking like, yeah, we make sure this homeschool thing. We write out little cards, so lesson plans. It's really easy, really easy. Like, unless you don't get on your nerves, it's better to protect your child and put them in harm's way.
Right.
If you're turning into a teacher,
now 16-year-old.
You turn into a teacher?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I'm not going to no school with no dirty babies.
Oh, I know that one.
My baby 2 bottles of Clorox before he leave the house.
Listen, and your son don't even like you. That's crazy.
If his son graduate from University of Romance Monroe, that's ridiculous. Ridiculous. He's doomed.
Oh, Taj is rolling today. Taj is getting good.
He's getting it in.
Hey, yeah.
But yeah, so that's that. Listen to Scott, man, because he's right, man. Coronavirus is real. Don't be going out here partying, drinking, shaking your tail feather like driving it like it's hot, just because you want to go out.
Checking what your mama gave you. What your mama gave you?
Going to ATL for a little $80 flight. Like, come on.
A little $80 flight, man.
$80. Listen, if I go to Miami, mind your business. I ain't asked for y'all.
Yeah.
That's why we on Zoom.
You go to Atlanta, Miami, LA, any of those places, stay far away from
there. Right.
Stay away.
Philly a hot spot too, so stay inside. Philly hot. Philly been hot.
Shut up.
It's like Southwest in 2015. This is like old Southwest. It's hot right now. You know what I'm saying?
Trying to get that wet, and he won't go outside and get it.
Well, we're gonna do a review of that later. We're gonna talk about that. But coming up, we have the hottest court that we've had in a while. We have the champion from last week, V. We have the challenger from a couple weeks ago, Scott. And we're talking about... Huh? No, I said challenger. Challenger.
Never beat nobody.
But I think he might have something today. He might have something today.
We're gonna see what he got.
Coming.
So let me line it up for y'all. Joe Biden is going against Trump in this election. People are calling this the biggest election of our lifetime.
Yes,
and Joe Biden was pressured to pick a black vice president, a black woman vice president. And he's picked Kamala Harris. Now, should he win, she will be the first African-American female vice president. Scott said, not really that important. V said, it is important. So, we're going to flip a coin.
Ain't got no quarter.
I should be able to choose because I won last.
You never got a quarter, Scoop.
Oh, you know what? V says she won last. So she should be able to choose who goes first, V.
You know what? You right, V.
Scotty goes first. All right, so listen. Put the 2 minutes up. You got the 2 minutes, Taj?
Yes, sir.
All right, so listen, Scotty, why isn't it truly important that we have a African-American female vice president?
It's not important because the vice president's power is very limited. They're only the Speaker of the House, and they is a backup. They're the backup quarterback. They on the bench, chilling, collecting the check, not doing nothing. You feel me? But in the reality, though, when we're talking about representation in black faces and white spaces, you have to consider the system, the interconnectedness of it. Kamala Harris, for instance, she was the Attorney General for California. In California, she predicated herself on centrism And what centrism is she was in the middle, basically, a moderate when it comes to criminal justice. And she prosecuted Black men for technicalities. She upheld qualified immunity for the police when it came to police brutality. And these things really signify to me that a Black face doesn't mean that they're for you. They're not for the community always. What they are and what they can be is vessels for white supremacy. Vessels for it. Meaning, I'm going to take this Black person and you're going to express my values, my morals, and my ethics, despite that being counterintuitive to your own community for your own personal gain. And so when you look at the history of that form of policy and politics, it's pervasive and it's very dangerous because Black people can get sucked into that hole of Blackface equals somebody who's positive, great, want to do the right thing for my community, but when in reality, they're not. And that is my time.
Oh, I like it. You came in hot. Now, let me just do an intermission. You came in hot. V, I hope you're ready because he came in dropping bombs. So, V, hold up, Taj, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, V, your time starts now.
All right, so let me start by saying you spent 1 minute and 45 seconds basically just attacking Kamala Harris as a specific person, but the question was about the presence of a Black woman as a vice president for the country and how important that is to everyone as a whole, or at least the Black community. So in the sense of, yes, Kamala Harris did things that I personally don't necessarily disagree with. She's spoken out on those things and she has changed her views and she's made policies and she's pushed towards making changes for the things that she's done in her past. So I get what you're saying, but again, you're targeting specifically her, where we're speaking about the presence of a Black woman. And I think that the presence of a Black woman sitting so high up in politics is huge. Like, it says a lot just for a little Black girl like me. I know me growing up, I never thought that I would ever see a Black president, let alone a Black female vice president in my lifetime. And now when I birth a daughter, she can say, oh, wow, Kamala Harris got this far, maybe I can too. And there's so many little Black girls and even little Black boys who see these type of things. There's Black boys who saw Barack Obama, and now if they want to run for president, they truly believe they can because now they've seen representation of themselves. And in reference to your argument about being, I guess, quote unquote, white-faced in the system, yes, the system is broken, but I believe that you need to be in the system to fix it because we've tried fixing it outside and we haven't seen much change. I just feel like you need to play the fence of making that change, specifically at local levels within the system in order to see an overall change. And I'm done.
Ooh,
5 seconds on the clock.
I'm just letting y'all know the tea is piping hot today.
Start the time. Start the time, Todd. Start my time.
Oh, he said
you got
Start my
1
time,
minute
Todd.
rebuttal.
Right, let's get it right.
Scotty, jump right in, Scott.
Feel me? Listen, number one, the system is not broken. Let me get that out the way. I'm tired of people saying that. The system ain't broken. It's working exactly how it's supposed to. It is written in the Declaration of Independence. We can go even before that, 1767, the Articles of Confederation. It is written that Black people are inferior to white people in this society. That is how the system is made. So there is no going inside of a system made to oppress us and changing it. It's not possible. There's too many lanes. There's too many avenues. You got to do it another way. You got to build your own. And that's my belief. However, going back to the original, I believe that representation, it can only be successful if that representation is a person of the people. And I don't believe that many Black politicians are people, are of the people.
Ooh. We jumping right into it.
Go ahead, V.
Time starts, boom. Okay, one, the system is broken because the system is for the people and it's not properly doing what it needs to do for the people. So the system is broken. Yes, it does follow how it was originally written, but things change. Just like they make amendments to the Constitution, they need to continue making amendments to fit the people. Now, moving on to Kamala. I don't agree in the sense of Black politicians are not for the people, because you have examples of the city representative in Florida who basically called out that white woman, I think, was she the governor or whatever she was, for basically making poor people poorer and cutting their lights off in the middle of a pandemic. That was a Black man. And I think that as long as you keep that heart and that soul, I believe that you can make change. And I think the representation of a Black woman in politics is huge at a time like this, because Black women are strong and we're fearless. So who else is gonna speak up?
Woo!
I ain't gonna lie to y'all.
I'll be honest with y'all.
No, I ain't gonna lie, that was good. Both of y'all. Woo.
I'll be honest. Y'all was so good, I forgot to put my judge thing up.
Is it too much to ask for one more from each?
I mean, Todd, you want to do a 30-second real quick, please?
30-second real quick?
I think it's so hot, we gotta do it.
Just real quick. Scott 30 seconds, then V, jump right on his tail. 30 seconds. Let's get it.
All right, hold on. Let me all right, bet. All right, bet. I'm good. I got it.
You ready?
Yeah.
I'm gonna cut you. You got 30 seconds, baby.
All right, so going into politicians, what I'm saying is that politics is very tricky. So despite one individual speaking out against something that everyone is doing, you have to go through the channels of the system. Speaking of, for instance, qualified immunity, the Supreme Court refuses to re-examine qualified immunity just as soon as June 5th, because that's one of the channels of white supremacy that you have to go through. Hey.
That was like 10 seconds, wasn't it?
Yeah, it felt like 10 seconds.
I think quick when you talking.
Let's be roll.
Go ahead, V. You got 30 seconds.
Okay. All right. Boom. So, to the original question in reference to why is a Black vice president important at a time like this? Like I've spoken on several times, representation is key. I think that Black women are strong. I think we've proven ourselves to be strong. We've started a lot of the biggest movements, like the Black Lives Matter movement, the Me Too movement, and several other movements to call it. So why not have a Black woman as vice president?
Woo, all right, so listen, this is how we're gonna do it. Todd, you go first. Keith, you go second. Then I'm gonna go.
This is a rough one, man. This is really good. Scott, you brought up some good points. But I agree with, having your own, but I also agree with V, where it's just like that representation, because I think back to when I was a child and I watched the inauguration of Barack Obama. And I never knew that a Black man could have that kind of power. I never knew. And then it brings me back to my memory again. When I found out Kenyatta Johnson was my city councilor, that's a Black man from South Philly. I said, this is amazing. So I do believe that you can go in as having that Black representation is good for not only other people to see, but people of our own kind being able to stand and be a mouthpiece for us. So with that being said, I gotta go with it.
What you got, Ro? Or you want me to go? You want to flip-flop?
If you want to, you can go.
I'm gonna just go ahead and say it, man. This was a piping hot one, man.
It was.
This one, y'all came with some good facts. And at the beginning, I'm like, it's very important. I understand, man. But Scott, he's made some very good, compelling points about the system and about just how it may seemingly be important, but what change may really happen. So I'm gonna have to go with Scott on this one. I usually don't, but I'm going with Scott on this one.
You supposed to be family. You don't even be voting for me. That's crazy.
So Keith, the whole deciding factor is on you today.
Man, I ain't even got no lighter today. Ain't nobody get smoked. It was just Scotty came out and said us, and the V said us, and Scotty said, well, yeah, us.
Scott kept that energy this week.
He kept that energy today.
He kept that energy.
But what bothered my spirit is I see SCR Superstar in the comments, and he said spot on VP. And that really stuck with me. Because Scott, you can't even get your own pop on your side.
Oh, pop on your side this week.
It started bubbling on me. It started bubbling in my spirit.
You don't know my pop. That's a lie. That's why he's saying that.
Yeah, that's the lie. He's, I know him well.
No, my pop always go against me.
It's like Scott, you made sense, man.
You did. You wasn't talking no bullshit.
But when we was talking in the meeting, V said all the stuff that I said about representation being assigned. So I'm sorry, Scott.
It's all good.
I'm gonna go with you, Scott.
Oh!
Remember when all else failed, I was on your side.
Yeah.
I'm going with Scott.
Let me say something though, real quick about the.
Oh, you get a victory speech.
No, it's not even a victory speech. I just wanted to say something like important. I thought I'd add to the conversation a little bit about the idea of representation, is because when you're thinking about a black president is a representation for young black kids, or a black female vice president is a representation for young black females, I'm looking at it like this person is in a false position of hope. It's not real. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Assata Shakur, Angela, that's to me. That's
why are they change. Not? Can you elaborate on that a little bit more?
That's real change. Because
it's not real.
It's not real because to me, this is my
Scotty,
personal.
This why I won't let you win.
It's not real. It's not real because it's not anything substantial. I'm gonna come in for my 4 years, do my bid, and dip.
Yeah.
Whereas the people that I just named, they made changes. I remember I know who they are. I wasn't even born. I wasn't even thought of. I wasn't even in my pop's loins before these people was doing what they was doing. And we're still talking about them, about the changes, the things that they did, the amazing radical changes they sacrificed their lives to do. I don't think any of the people going and were willing to do the same thing as them. And I think that's the type of representation we need.
No,
well, you speak for your politicians, and I speak for my politicians.
My politicians is the Black Liberation Army, man. That's my politician.
Please.
Do you interview, Keith?
Okay, Scott. So I also want to bring up inside the comments. Your dad said VP used to stand for vice president, but now it stands for Bernice Penn. How did it feel to know that you did win with us, but the popular vote you lost, especially
popular.
Okay, Donald Trump.
Wait, I'm not. No, I ain't got
the electoral college, but I got the popular.
I won what matters. That's what matters.
I won what matters.
You got the electoral college.
Trump is in office now. We talk about we talk about majority vote all we want. That shit don't matter because he's still in office. It don't matter.
One last question, Scott. One last question. After being a Newport or Lucy getting fried every week after week, how does it feel to finally win one?
I'm blessed. I appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying? Finally giving me that recognition. I could put this on my resume now.
Absolutely.
You got a dub and talk heavy court. It's a blessing. The opportunities are endless now.
And that's us from Talk Heavy and ESP Heavy, and we'll send it back to Scoop now.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess it's what it is. You want to leave the people with anything, any parting words that you would like everybody to know before we send this on home, Scott?
If you ain't talking heavy, then what you talking for, yo?
And that's what it is.
That boy on it this week, boy. That boy.
He on it. Listen, that's the perfect way to end it. That wraps up a whole nother episode of Talk Heavy. Once again, I'm your boy Scoop Burgundy.
It's your boy Taj.
It's Tommy Ruff.
It's Scotty.
It's V.
And you can find all things at TalkHvy on all your platforms. And until next week, holla.